This week on NOMOFOMO, we're getting into
Underdogs,
Bundy,
curling boners,
garage sale mysteries,
exotic figure skating,
and a plot summary of every single Christmas movie ever made.
It's snowing, I hadn't noticed.
So let's get into it.
Hey NOMOFOMO listeners, welcome back. You got your little trio posse here. Jason, Allie, and Carla.
Kiki, Carla,
Kiki, Carla.
thank you very much.
Don't get that twisted ever.
Whoa.
Whoa.
She's coming.
Sassy.
She's coming in hot.
Sassy.
Well, I've had a week of opulence.
Opulence.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my
Here we
God.
go with opulence. All right, well, this week, our theme that we are going to...
Jason hates opulence.
I hate it.
Sorry.
I hate it. We're going to talk about that much later in the show when we do our review, which we just watched.
Yes.
Episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We're not going to talk about it yet.
No.
Everybody calm down.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
We have a theme to talk about, and then we're going to promptly go off topic.
Okay.
And the theme this week is the Underdogs.
Underdogs.
Nice.
You earn
everything.
Okay.
Jason's gonna kill us.
It's not that kind of... No, you guys. We're supposed to take this seriously.
Okay.
Oh my
We
God.
are.
Producer Jason is telling us exactly how it is.
Oh my God.
Here we go, Producer Jason.
Allie, tell me about a time when you felt like an underdog.
Okay, all right. So I was actually thinking about this for a while, and everybody feels. I feel like an underdog constantly. It's just one of those things where it's like, no matter where you are at in your life, with work or whatever it is, I'm constantly finding that you always want to do more, right? But one of the biggest moments for me where I felt like a complete underdog and I'm like, what am I even doing here, was back in 2004. There was a little reality TV show on HGTV called the Superstar Challenge. And back then, I was actually in Africa. I was visiting, and I had this email from this woman. Her name was Andrea Cox, and she wrote for the Calgary Sun. And she sent me an email. She's like, I just got this press release, and you need to apply for the show. And it was the Superstar Challenge. And so anyway, I got back to Canada after my vacation, applied, it was like a videotape. And it was the funniest thing.
You had to actually pop in a tape.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And a friend
There was
of mine.
no digital.
No, a friend of mine had a video recorder. Is that what you call it? A video recorder? Yeah.
You had to tape over their parents' homegrown porn.
Totally. It was one of those moments. And a friend of mine, Karen Bond, who is now an amazing interior designer in Vancouver, actually filmed it for me. Anyway, so we filmed it, I sent it in, and 3 weeks later, I completely forgot about it and got a call saying that you were chosen as a top 10 and you need to come to Toronto and compete in this reality TV show. And I was so excited and so pumped, but on the flight there, I was by myself and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what in the hell am I doing? I'm like, I had just graduated from decorating school, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna compete against these amazing designers, and anyway, so we got to Toronto, and I met all of these designers, and literally after the first episode, I went back to my hotel room, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where you're
Panic.
just like, yes, it was a total panic moment, and you're just like, I'm like, I don't know if I belong, because I'm like, I just started, and all of these other interior designers have their own businesses and they've been doing it for so long. And but anyway, to make a long story short, I came in top 3.
Yeah, you did.
But it was every moment, every day was one of those things where I was like, I felt like the underdog, and I was trying my hardest just to kind of keep up and do what I do, and it was an awesome moment. But I felt like an underdog and we were there for a week. We did an episode every single week, and there was a challenge, and there was a bottom 2, and one person went home. It was like RuPaul's Drag Race, but sans drag.
Yeah. And sans RuPaul.
Sans RuPaul, right? Totally, yeah. And so yeah, that's my story. That's kind of one of the main moments. But like I said before, I feel like I kind of constantly am feeling like underdog and always wanting to do more. So
Well, I think that's pretty normal.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
yeah.
this topic is so easy because it is the most basic
Sure.
human emotion. Like, I think we all
Yeah.
feel like
Yes.
a little less than.
Yes.
Totally.
I mean, Carla, like, probably how you felt before you had bangs.
Oh, completely. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was like,
Yeah.
who is that homely little girl?
And here you are.
And then the bangs
and then
happen,
the bangs
and it's
happen,
like, well,
and then
you
it
know.
was just like a whole new world. I was Jasmine Aladdin.
Yes, 100%. Totally.
So the time that I felt like I was an underdog, so I was trying to get into USC, or Harvard or Yale, and then my mom, Felicity Huffman, and my dad, William H. Macy, they actually somehow just made it happen, and I really felt like I couldn't do it. Like, I felt like my SAT scores were really low, and like I wasn't on the crew team. I didn't like do any sports.
Right.
But then, like, just magically, like, I got into these amazing Ivy League colleges.
Oh my God, it was a
from my
miracle.
parents, Felicity Huffman and William H. Macy. Yes.
You know what? I wouldn't say too much about this because I feel like this is a story that could break any minute.
Oh shit. Okay.
Be
Well,
careful what you say.
I will.
Wow.
But anyway, everything's fine now.
Everything's
Oh,
fine
thank
now.
God. You made it. You got
A good education, girl.
a good education and a good haircut.
I'm set.
You're set for life.
What about you, producer Jason? Bossy pitch.
Oh, no, you know what? I was thinking about this week, and it's, you know, I mean, because I'm like everybody. I mean, I feel like the underdog like pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm.
However, I thought about it, and I had to go way back to when I felt like my most underdoggiest.
Yes.
And it was when I had to play sports.
No.
Okay?
Wow.
Oh.
Welcome to the club.
No, like
Ew.
when I was a kid, I mean, every good parent tries to encourage their kids to do activities, right? And, you know, now there's every kind of activity. Like,
Oh,
there's
sure.
like, you know, fashion camp. There's like, I mean, anything and everything. You can go to like programming camp.
Oh, sure.
No, I had to go play baseball, right? As you do, right? And I don't begrudge my parents for it, but I hated it so much because A, I was afraid of the ball,
Yeah.
and B, I didn't know how to throw a ball.
Yeah.
So these are things that have stuck with me
You still don't.
for my life. No, I still don't. And I don't even really try. And I
Why
have
would
a
you?
very strict personal policy in life now
Yeah.
that I do not throw anything in
No.
public except for the odd bit of shade. That's it. That's it. No throwing
Yes.
and no catching in public. Don't ask me to come and help you out with your softball league.
No.
You know, no dodgeball, no soccer,
No.
like no team sports.
No
I can't
t-ball.
do it.
No
You know what?
See,
I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, team sports, you know what? Pick me last.
Yeah, well, don't
Pick
ask
me
me
last.
don't ask me to do like football or like a contact sport. But for me, I was the same as Jason. Like I hate. I was lucky enough that my parents never put me into any sort of sports team. I never joined any sports teams. My brother was like the all-star athlete in the family, so he kind of did everything, and I just did crafts in my room.
yeah.
As you do,
Crafternoons.
crafternoons. That's what I was doing. And my parents were okay with it. But when it came to gym class, it was the absolute worst for me because I was a bigger kid. And I actually used to wear my gym strip, which is what they called it, gym strip.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Your short
and-
shorts.
Yeah, short shorts and your we didn't have short. Well, they were kind of shorty, but anyway, and your classic T-shirt with your, you know, a school's emblem or logo on it.
Yeah.
I was so scared of changing in the locker room with the other
Yes,
boys that I actually
yes.
had to wear everything underneath so that
Yes.
when I took off my shirt, it was just there.
Yeah.
And I was also a sweat monster.
Yeah.
So I was sweating all the time because I
Yes.
was just constantly stressed
Yes.
out.
Yes.
And so at pit stains, and it was just like the
Yes.
worst, and like the
Yes.
gym and the everything is just like, oh, it was just a horrible, horrible moment. But going back to what Jason said right now about, you know, playing a game or asking to be in a softball league or something, I would do that right now.
Would you?
You would?
I would.
If
yeah.
somebody gave me a baseball stick, I would put my hands up. I would put my beautifully manicured hands up, and I would just walk backwards, and I would just say, Miss Vanjie,
Vanjie.
Van-
I'll come
my
and keep
God.
score. How about that?
Sure.
Can I keep score?
You can keep score. Of
We could do
course.
cheerleading.
See, I
Oh,
would totally
cheerleading.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay, now we
Give
got
me
it.
an A. You got your A. You got your A. Give me a B.
You got your B, you got your B.
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
All right.
Okay.
Now, Carla, you actually beat us to the punch because our pop culture topic of the week, what else could we talk about with the underdog topic?
Oh my
but
God.
Right?
this
Oh my God.
university bribing scandal is taking
Everything.
over. And I'm literally hitting refresh on Google this afternoon, and there's like something new coming up
Loving
because
it.
this is just getting better and
Okay,
better.
so what's
So
the backstory?
juicy.
Let's give the backstory about what this is all about.
Right, so the backstory is that there's a bunch of rich bastards in the US who have been buying their kids' way into Ivy League schools.
Which is nothing new.
Which is, you know, I mean, it's not a
Yes.
surprise.
No.
But I think what's the most surprising about it is just the details of how catty they are about the whole thing, right? Like, it's not just like, oh, well, here's a few extra bucks, like, can you make room for them? No, they are, like, cheating on their SATs. They are photoshopping their kids' bodies in sports so that they look more athletic. No,
Oh my God!
Well,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know it was
So,
that far.
so say you're
Yeah.
like a crew coach in Harvard or something like that. So then they'll Photoshop their children's photo onto some athlete who's actually doing crew.
like Michael Phelps.
Exactly.
It's like putting my face on Michael Phelps.
Okay.
And then that way the coach has grounds to say, oh, look at
he's
Felicity
athletic.
Huffman's
Yeah.
son or whatever, then he is athletic. I need him as my spare on the crew team. I don't need him as my star athlete because but I need him as my spare. So yes, I'm going to accept that.
Right.
Okay, so here's my question.
$100,000.
Here's my question: is that okay? So great that these stars have now been caught doing it, but if, like you said, Carla, if this is happening all the time, why is it that all of a sudden these stars are now getting put in jail? What about the rest of these people that have been doing it for so long? How
No,
are
they're
they
all getting in shit. It's not just the stars. Like,
Okay.
there's a long list of
Oh, there
Oh,
is.
yes.
Okay.
really, really
Yes.
wealthy Americans.
Okay.
And it just so happens that a couple of them are celebrities.
Yes.
So, like you said,
My parents,
Felicity Huffman,
right,
yes.
your
totally,
mom,
totally.
Yeah.
and William H. Macy, your
Yes.
dad.
Yes.
So he didn't get charged though. It was
No,
her that
just her.
It was just her.
Just
and
her.
actually, I read that he is sort of saying that he was not really part of this whole thing. Like, Felicity was the one who was kind of spearheading the whole,
So
the whole thing.
Do you think it's one of those things where it's like that's what their lawyers said to say because otherwise they'd both be in jail?
Of course.
Maybe.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They
Oh
want
my
to keep
God.
one out.
Sure. Yeah.
But William H. seems like he's pretty cool. Like, he seems like the
I'm-
real dude.
I am actually really shocked because I was listening to RuPaul's podcast and Felicity Huffman was on there because she was a judge on the show.
Yes.
And they were talking and she was just, I don't know, God, I don't even know her, but like just going from what she was saying and how I would never expect that from her.
Right? It was so shocking.
It was really shocking.
I think that's what it was. It was the absolute
Yeah.
like shock value of
Yeah.
like her.
Totally.
And then Lori Loughlin,
Well,
Aunt Becky from
Right?
Full House.
Aunt
Don't get that
Becky.
twisted. I knew she had a bit of fucking dangerous side in her ever since Full House. I'm like,
Right? What did
I know.
Uncle Jesse do to her?
Wow.
Turned her
Wow.
on the wrong path.
Well, and then Rob Lowe is like throwing shade on Twitter and being like, I'm so proud of my boys who got in the honest way.
Oh,
So
boy,
then
come
I
on.
love that. I love like other like 80s stars like throwing all this
Oh,
shade.
right.
This is so
Yeah.
good.
Like, we
Right.
didn't have to do
Except that
that
their names are Rob Lowe Jr. And so, of course, whoever opens up that envelope is like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Maybe we need
guess
to
so.
raise the profile of this boring ass school.
If it was Chad, no way. But
No.
Rob, yes.
100%.
But speaking of Aunt Becky, though, so she was in a movie, like just like Grease 2, it's an art house cult masterpiece of the 80s called Back to the Beach. And
Back to the beach.
You know what? This name is familiar, but I don't remember.
I don't
the
either.
plot.
so
Does
the-
it have something to do with like spring break?
Well, so it's about Annette Funicello and
Ooh.
Frankie Avalon going
Oh.
back to
To
the
the
beach.
Right. What was
Yes.
she
Oh my
like
God.
for?
She was like she was the ingenue in it, and then she'd wear these like this is when I actually I liked Aunt Becky then because she was wearing those body glove, like neon, you know, those ones that zip up at there's like a bra top and it zips up, like so hot. Anyway, and then they'd have like the tutus that were like neon green as well. But on that one was another major underdog was Pee Wee Herman.
Right.
Yes, that's when he debuted Surfin' Bird.
Oh my God! So, how do you know all this stuff? You're a wealth of knowledge.
It's a
Kiki.
gift and a curse.
Oh well, God! I just want to quickly go back to Aunt Becky for a second.
Yeah.
So she's on a show.
Yes.
On the Hallmark Channel. Okay.
This is so good.
Yeah.
Do you know?
This is good.
Do you know what the show is called?
It's not the Tory Spelling. Mother, May I Sleep with Danger? Is it in that same vein?
No. It is shockingly worse. It is the Garage Sale Mysteries or something like that.
That's what it's called. The Garage Sale Mysteries.
The Garage Sale Mysteries. Like, are you like? You know, like, imagine the script comes through your desk and you're reading it and you're like, yes, this is the role of a lifetime. I need to be part of the Garage Sale Mystery.
No, but I feel like that's your dream role.
This is what I'm saying. This is my dream, not her dream. She took fucking my dream away
She had
from
Uncle
me.
Jesse.
Becky.
Well, you know what?
Seriously, so selfish.
Okay, the part is about to get recast if they don't just cancel the whole show. Because
Didn't she get
as
fired?
of about 2 hours ago, the Hallmark Channel just ditched Lori.
Ooh.
Lori's done.
So here's
Lori's
my
done.
opportunity, Hallmark Channel. If you need anyone for that show, I am an avid garage sailor.
Yes.
I do it all the time. Every time the summer gets warm, I will stop for a garage sale.
Allie
And
Brace
he's
for
very
garage sale.
mysterious.
I will. Yes.
You are mysterious
See?
at garage sales.
I could do it.
So, and you know what? Here's the thing. So she and her husband, their bribes totaled to USC, their bribes totaled $500,000. That Garage Sale Mysteries is bringing in money. honey.
It's
Oh,
true.
no, but you know who her
It is
husband
true.
is.
Oh, I know. But
Right.
I'm just saying that, like, I just want Allie to go and, like, make a bunch of money. And
Well, I'm going to ask for $1 million.
then you better.
How about that? Per episode.
There's a lot of money in the Garage Sale Mysteries.
So I was looking through all the movies that she's done with the Hallmark Channel, and she has been getting paid a lot of money. But, you know, she is basically like the Christmas movie, like, goddess.
Well,
she has done all of them.
What is with the girls from Full House? Because so is the other one. Who was?
Yes,
oh my God! What is
Candace Cameron
Cameron.
Beret.
Yes. Oh,
Don't forget the beret.
don't forget.
Because she
those.
used to live in Calgary.
Yeah, totally.
And I used to see her scowl at the sport ball games.
Oh, right, because she was with a hockey player, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
She's also the queen of the Christmas movie because she's in every single Christmas movie.
Thank you, Jesus. She
Amen.
loves Jesus.
Yes, she does.
And let me
Yes,
break
she
down
does.
every character of every Christmas movie
Yes, please.
on the Hallmark Channel. Well, first of all, it's a woman who probably works in public relations.
Yeah,
Of course.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
like me, and she's a workaholic, and she can't find love.
No time for that.
No, she's too
No.
busy taking over Dad's business.
But one day she gets a call.
From who?
Somebody back in her hometown.
Hometown. Of course.
It's probably in a square state somewhere in the middle. So she's got to go home because things are getting a little bit crazy and they need her help.
They do. No one else can help.
But she doesn't want to go because she doesn't want to leave the business.
And she's got a power suit that she has to wear with
Yes.
high heels.
Oh, totally. And a
Well,
cell
she-
phone in her purse.
And she trades in those heels for some Uggs, and it starts to snow. You know what? And then there's going to be this mysterious man who picks her up at the airport,
Oh,
or
totally.
picks her up when
Totally.
she slips on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah. And he's driving a truck.
He
I was
drives
going
a
to
truck.
say he's driving a pickup truck.
Yeah, he's driving a truck, and he's probably wearing like one of those jean jackets that have like the fur on the collar.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
fur, but it's like a.
It's
A
that
shearling,
faux,
shearling,
yeah,
shearling.
faux
so
shearling.
he's
Yeah.
wearing that. I
Yeah.
mean, I could style these with my eyes closed. It's so easy. And then, anyway, we won't get into it. We all know the ending.
Yeah.
She stays. She falls in love. I don't know. There's some kind of fireworks at the end, and
Whatever happens to the business, though? That's what they
Right.
don't ever talk about.
How did they go on without
Well,
her?
Totally.
Because she was the most important person at the PR firm.
Everybody's probably like, yeah! She's gone!
well, she can't afford to put her kids into school anymore. That's for sure. Now that she's, living the simple life.
Well, and the funny thing is that her daughter, who's like partying on some billionaire's yacht
Right.
at the moment, she's
Yes.
like she's not only a sugar baby from her parents, but she's also like a proper sugar baby. And so she's got her own YouTube thing. Her name's like Olivia Jade Grace.
Yeah. And she's got some agreement with Sephora.
Yes.
And they just dropped her too.
Did they?
Sephora dropped her.
Well, you know
Wow.
what? There you go.
Like,
There
it's
you go.
all crashing down around
Because
these
she
people.
was putting out videos that she's saying she doesn't care about school. So
Are you
go.
serious?
Yes. Yeah, this was beforehand. This was like right before that. She's just like, you know
what?
guys,
These
I just don't
entitled
really care
little
about school.
witches. Like, you know what?
Exactly.
Your parents got you into the school. There's people that are gagging to get into
Completely.
school.
Well, and
that
now
don't
those
have enough
people,
money.
they're all suing the schools now. So this is the next layer of it.
Yes.
Oh my
Is all
God.
these
Bring
students,
on the lawsuits.
Seriously,
all these
bring
students
it
who
on.
did not get in are now doing like class action lawsuits against
Ooh.
Harvard and Yale and Georgetown and all the rest of
Wow.
them. They're saying like, hey, you know what? You took our spot.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll see what happens.
And you know
Oh
what?
my
That's
God.
a perfect opportunity for another Christmas movie because it can be about the lawyer
Yes.
who's representing all of these class action suits.
Totally.
Yes.
And
Totally.
she's so lonely and she doesn't have any love.
She's so busy.
She's just so busy. And her life is so empty without heterosexual love.
Oh.
What's a girl to do at Christmas
What
time?
is
She's
a
gonna
girl
be all
to do?
alone.
Seriously. Oh my God. Wow.
I'll look forward to that one.
I'll be watching it because I am the king of watching weirdy Christmas movies. I really am. I love watching them. I'll watch them up by myself. Jason's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching a Christmas movie." He's
It's
like,
the
"I'm
Christmas shoes.
I'm going upstairs." Yeah. He's like, "I'm out."
The
Bye."
Christmas Prince.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I'm done. I'm not watching
The
this.
Christmas jacket.
The Christmas blanket.
Christmas corsage.
Oh God.
This is my favorite podcast by far. By the way.
Totally.
You know why? It's Vanjie.
It's
She
Vanjie.
gave us these powers.
Yeah, she did. She was
Yeah,
good.
so we should tell our listeners that before recording this, we actually did just watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
So we're all giddy.
Oh my God.
We
Yeah,
are
and it was
so
really
giddy.
good.
We
And at the end of this, we're
laughed.
going to talk
Yeah,
about it
yeah,
because
we laughed real
there's
hard.
a lot to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let's talk about our streaming club first.
Yes.
Because, and Carla, you called it last week. You're like, have you guys watched Losers?
Losers.
Yeah.
On Netflix. And so you brought it up, so you lead us in.
Well, I know that there's several episodes, but the only one I ever cared about, because it was all just men. And then
Yeah.
I just wanted to watch Surya Bonali.
Oh my
Surya.
God.
Surya motherfucking Bonali.
She
Thank
is
you.
epic.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, she's been missing from my life for so long.
100%. When you said those words
Yes.
to us last week,
Yes.
I just about fell over and died.
Completely. Absolutely. And we grew up with her. We grew up with competitive figure skating. As much as we're
100%.
like, the sports didn't do it for us. But competitive figure skating at that time, it was everything.
Everything.
I mean, this
Excuse me,
was-
Saturday
yes.
afternoons?
Yes.
Saturday afternoons were jam-packed, back-to-back figure skating.
Yes,
And if-
absolutely.
If my brother was watching wrestling, I was like crying because I was like,
Absolutely.
give me the remote so I can watch my
Figure skating.
Surya. I need
Exactly.
to watch my Surya.
And so, coming off 88 Olympics, we had that connection. And then we saw her, oh my goodness, her technical excellence was unparalleled.
Beyond.
And she was rebellious.
She was rebellious. I mean, at the World Championship, she took off her silver medal.
Yeah.
Because rightly so, and she was so young, and she knew she was absolutely done an injustice
Yes.
by being second place. She knew that she
Absolutely.
absolutely deserved the gold. She knew that she was a victim of this prejudiced judging, and then she fell short at the Olympics again. But when she turned pro, and this is when I saw her in person, is
You
when
saw
she
her in person?
Was it
to
like
the fucking yes.
Ice Capades?
No, it was Stars on Ice.
Oh, Stars on Ice.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, I never met her. I met Brian Orser, who is such a bore.
Brian
Wah,
Borser.
wah, wah.
And I met Kurt Browning, who I wanted to have as babies
Oh, okay.
when I was
Yeah.
only 11. But
Yeah, that was
He was a cute
inappropriate.
too.
exactly. But we all loved him.
Well, yeah,
and-
he was cute.
Exactly. But no, Surya did everything for us. And then I saw her do the backflip.
Oh,
And she was everything. But seeing it now and seeing the way that the media portrayed her and the language that they used
yeah.
surrounding her.
It was horrible.
Completely.
And watching it as another colored person
Yes.
made me feel so amazed. Well, I was amazed
Yes.
that there was like, you know, a black person
Yes.
figure skating
Yes.
and doing so well and killing it.
Yes.
And I was like amazed, but it was shocking to me that she like wasn't doing well.
Absolutely.
Because you saw her and you saw the moves and they were amazing. And then do you remember she used to wear those jewels on her face?
Always.
The jewels on her face. Oh my God. And her costumes were...
Her looks were so ahead of the time.
The purple lipstick she used to wear.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I'll never forget it. Never.
Yeah, same.
No.
Same. I'm
It
with
was
you.
incredible.
100%. So when somebody describes someone as exotic, I mean, growing up, you know, it's those things that we sort of have to sort of unlearn, you know, being sort of taught this by the media, that, you know, how hurtful that can be. And, you know, because exotic as compared to, you know...
Oksana Bayul.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, it's that. If you haven't watched it yet, please watch
Yes.
it. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely it
and
is,
you'll get the
yes.
history on her, and then you get to see her in, you know, as she is now. She roller skates.
Yeah, she does. And she
With-
teaches
with
the
her
teacher.
husband?
Yes, yeah.
She roller skates with her husband.
They were so cute. They were
It's
super
so
cute.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely, and I
It's
think,
adorable.
I think this is actually like it's sort of part of a trend of a lot of women who during that time were a real sort of casualty to the media of that time, such as Tanya Harding, such as Monica Lewinsky, such as Anita Hill, who really were portrayed so negatively by the media.
Yeah.
And we all sheepishly sort of went along with it, unfortunately. And now we're sort of backtracking
Totally.
and listening to these women. So
I feel so bad for her because I really feel like she could have been such an amazing
Yes.
champion. Not that she
Yes.
doesn't feel like a champion inside, because you know what? Listening to her, and now that she's helping kids,
Yes.
and you know, like going to all these schools and educating these girls in Brooklyn. She,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
she went and like it's truly amazing, and she's doing a good thing, and she's an amazing person, and so anyway, we love that show. We
Yes.
love her.
Have you watched any of their episodes?
no.
No.
We
okay,
we watched
did.
a little bit of one last night actually.
Yeah, I watched it because I thought, you know, I'm going to be a professional podcaster,
Yes.
and I'm going
She's
to watch
a professional.
I'm going to watch more than one episode.
Professional.
And so I'm scanning through, and there's some things that I don't really know much about. And then I found an episode that was something I know a lot about, and it was about curling.
Yay! Hurry hard! Sweep it!
So
Clean the ice.
okay, and you know what was the funniest part? So my parents are major curling enthusiasts.
Sure.
They love that shit. Like, they watch The Briar. We talked to them the other night. They're like, did you watch The Briar? Like, no.
You're like,
I
Brian
was also-
Boitano?
yeah,
You're like, what?
yeah, totally.
No, I
I was
watched-
also cooking dinner, so I was kind of half in, half out.
Right.
While
I
he
ain't
was
watching no
watching.
Briar. However, they used to always watch it, and
Yeah.
they loved
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And it was so funny because they were talking about this one particular game
Yeah.
in particular, and I remember watching the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that was, like, the reason why I have a little brother. Is because my parents got so excited watching this game. No, I'm just kidding. The dates don't actually line up. But,
I was like,
no,
wow.
it was a
Wow,
pretty
they got
thing.
that excited about curling that
I
they
know.
just had
So-
to have a baby.
Curling boners.
So anyway, I won't get into all the
Hashtag
details.
curling boners.
I won't get into the details of it. But let's just say Pat Ryan beat Al Hackner, and it was the 1985 Briar. And it was a
Of
huge...
course it was Pat versus
huge
Al.
Right.
Of course.
Right? But actually, I'll tell you the best part of the show. The best part was that they were showing what curling used to be
Oh
like.
yeah, this is my favorite part.
And
This is my
so,
favorite
like,
part.
pre-1985 Briar, during this turning point, this TSN turning point in the curling world, basically, it was showing these guys were actually had, like, lit cigarettes
Yes,
hanging
they
out of their
did.
mouths.
And
Yes.
yeah,
They would be drunk,
drinking beer.
hungover.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all, like...
It was amazing.
They
That's
all
why
had
I was-
spare tires.
Yes, of course.
But-
You know,
They
they
were-
couldn't even move. Like, they were, like...
But they were still playing the game properly and killing it and
No,
like
they were
having
good.
a good time. And
Right.
that
They were
was-
good
that was-
players.
yes, they were great players, and that's to me. That's when I was like, Oh, okay. So that, like it was kind of like a fun thing and whatever. And then at the very end, it now showed that all of these curling enthusiasts are like, they have trainers and then they
Right.
have diets and all
Matching
this stuff.
pants.
And,
Yeah, they have
it's
like
just-
sports therapists and
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. They get like in the zone,
Yeah.
and they all look like models, and so the game has
Oh,
changed
awesome.
a lot.
Yes.
But I actually I took junior curling
Yeah, yeah.
when I was
yeah,
a kid. This was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this was the only team sport I had any skill at.
Sure.
And were you good?
No, I don't think I was very good, but I could get down the ice.
Yeah, yeah.
I could walk in those little slider shoes. I know that. But I'll tell you,
Okay.
one thing for sure is that every small town in Alberta and Saskatchewan has
Yes.
got two things.
Yes.
They have a curling rink, and they have a restaurant where you can get omelets and ginger beef at the same time.
Yes. And all of those are made with ham.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ginger ham.
Yeah. And ham is in everything.
Yeah, so
You're like, can I get apple pie?
Yeah.
And they're like, with ham?
Yeah, exactly.
I could never eat there.
So
It's true, though. It's true. My lineage is from Saskatchewan, or Saskatchewan, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
are you
yeah.
from vagina?
Not from vagina, Saskatchewan, but just a little bit south of vagina, Saskatchewan.
Oh my
Swift
god!
Current.
All right.
But
Oh,
yeah,
Speedy Creek.
Speedy Creek, yeah. And so yeah, my grandma curler, same
Yeah.
thing, absolutely. Like it's in their blood. It didn't get passed on to me, unfortunately.
It didn't transfer.
It didn't transfer, but
Because
we
you moved
had-
to the right side of the tracks.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm part of a prestigious curling club, but then you just walk past the curling ice. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
but it's a thing for sure.
Yeah.
People get super into it.
Yeah, they
But
do.
there-
And
you
it's
know,
actually really fun. Abby,
It
we
is
actually
really
got an
fun, yeah.
invitation from our next door neighbors again. They invite us every single year, and it's always Easter weekend, and we're never here. And they have their own curling tournament that they invite all the friends and neighbors to.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Which would be super fun, and they call it the Tournament of Farts.
Allie does not look impressed right now.
I'm like,
You're like,
See, but Allie would be the one that would show up and have the greatest time and probably win because he would take it so seriously and he'd be like, "Hey ha!"
well, listen. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability.
absolutely. You're gonna have like a couture, like curling jumpsuit.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Matching broom.
Yes, and I'm gonna have a martini in one hand and
Yes.
a cigarette in the other.
Yes. And you'd be like, you bitches are
Yes.
sweeping my ashes.
Totally.
That's
Totally.
it.
Yes. Thank you.
So we found an
Next.
article
Next.
as well, and it was talking about all the most amazing celebrity comeback stories.
Oh my God.
Like
Yes.
those that
Yes.
they kind of hit their peak,
Yes.
and then they became the underdog,
Yes.
and then they brought it back.
Yes.
And now there was a long list of people, and there's some people that are more fun to talk about
Sure.
than others.
Of course.
But we all picked one.
Yes.
Well, I picked a
And-
few because I have a few smallies.
Oh,
I
you
hope
have a
that's
few?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Carla, you start. You had one that you were excited to talk about.
So excited, beyond excited. I've been excited about this since she made her comeback. This is Wino Forever. Winona Ryder.
Yes.
Oh.
Stranger Things. Stranger
so-
Things.
When is it coming back?
Oh, I think soon.
In the summer.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Don't worry. It's all good. Normally it would have come back at Halloween time.
Yes.
But I think they took extra time to make it extra good. So
here's
I
hoping.
support that.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're children of the 80s, teens of the 90s. So, I mean, Winona is everything to us. Heather's, Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward
Oh
Scissorhands.
my
Come on.
God, we love her so much.
Yes.
And unfortunately, she, life hit her pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so she got busted for shoplifting
Right.
at, I think it was Barney's or Saks.
And wasn't it a lipstick? What was it?
It was Marc Jacobs' clothes,
Oh,
actually.
okay,
And
clothes.
so she got busted. And it was such like small little banal things.
Right.
But of course it was like anything. It was sort of bit of a cry for help,
Sure.
basically. So she, you know what, she went underground. There was, like, because of course she did have to go through her court proceedings and whatnot. And of course there's the infamous Free Winona t-shirts that were made up at that point.
Yes.
And it was nice because everyone was still saying, it was very much of a Whitney Houston thing, we love you, no, we never stopped loving you, it never went away from the fans' point of view. But yeah, she went underground for a while, and then here we go. Stranger Things comes back. They are true to form in 80s. It wasn't like a cheesy 80s remake. I'm sure everyone's seen Stranger Things at this point. If you haven't, again, add it to your streaming.
Get
get
it
into it now.
Turn off this podcast and go watch it.
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
kidding. Wait till we're done.
No, yeah, you have to wait till we're done. But it's not, because we all know that these 80s remakes come back, like The Wedding Singer, which is great, but I mean that's very over the top. It's campy.
Yeah, I love
but
that show.
this is for real. Like when we watch Stranger Things, we're like, I remember that telephone. I remember that binder. I remember having that dress.
Yes.
It was so real. And then of course, then she was Will's mom, and I almost lost my shit just having her back. So having her back on one of the biggest shows to come out in the 2000s and 10s. What are we calling ourselves?
The tens?
The tens?
Tens
across the board. And to have her just back in the public eye and so beautiful, and it's just doing everything for me.
Yeah.
So I'm wishing her all the best, and I can't wait to see what's next.
I know. Well, she was so perfectly cast too, because not just because of the 80s things and because she's so skilled as an actor, but also because she is a little bit troubled in her real life.
Yes.
And her character is batshit crazy.
Completely.
Well, for good reason. I mean, her son was taken to the underside. What is it called? The underside.
The underside. The upside down.
The upside down.
The underside.
Into the underwear. Allie, who are yours?
Okay, all right. So I have some pretty funny ones that I thought, and I hope everybody else thinks they're funny. But okay, so Ed O'Neill. Do you guys know Ed O'Neill?
Yeah.
He was
Of
Al
course.
Bundy
Yeah,
on Married with Children.
Yes.
And so that that show went on from 1987 to 1997.
I didn't know it was that
I
long.
believe it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and then he kind of disappeared after
did,
that.
yeah.
And
Yes.
then now he's on ABC's Modern
Modern
Family.
Family,
And he's been
yes.
nominated for 3 Emmys for that.
Yes.
He
It's
is
incredible.
perfect. Nobody else could play Jay.
I
He's
totally
too
agree.
good.
I totally agree. And just going back to Married with Children for a second, I remember watching that show, and my parents were around, and my mom was always like, "Why are you watching this show?" She couldn't get over why the guy always had his hands in his pants.
Yes.
Like my mom could not get over that.
Yeah.
She just couldn't.
And where's the back of her shoes?
Yes, totally. Totally. Why are her shoes so high? And then also, like Katie Sagal, too.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, after that,
No,
she
but no.
built you.
Are you kidding? She had like a big comeback.
It was a huge
That's-
comeback.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
I
that
thought
she
you were
had.
saying what happened to
No,
her.
but then she had a comeback. So after Married with Children, she didn't really do anything, and then she was on Sons of Anarchy. She was on 8 Simple Rules as well.
Yes, yeah.
So okay, this is also one of my favorites. Mayim Bialik.
Yes,
Blossom.
Awesome. So do you guys know what
Whoa.
she did? Whoa! Oh, Joey! I love Joey. I had a huge crush on Joey.
Of
Who
course he did.
didn't?
Oh my
He was
God.
hot. He had
He
that
was
hair.
hot. Those
Oh my God.
those
and the lips.
vests.
And the lips. He had
Yes.
cute. He had
He was
big lips. They were so
cute.
cute. So obviously her breakout role was in Blossom, which ended in 1995. And do you guys know what she did after that?
She got her
went to-
degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got her PhD in neuroscience, y'all.
You know
Yeah,
why?
she's smart.
Because her mom is Felicity Huffman too.
Oh, she took some of that momager
That's
Blossom
right.
money, paid
Oh my
off a little
God.
something.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
she's a smarty.
She is a smarty.
Yeah.
And now she's obviously on The Big Bang Theory, which, is huge.
Nerd alert.
And yeah, total
Nerd,
alert.
nerds.
By the way, we need to do a whole podcast on just
on
the
Revenge of the
Revenge of the
Nerds.
Nerds is going to be a
Because-
special
totally.
episode.
That'll be the Christmas special.
Oh my God, yes.
Or maybe we'll do
Yes.
it back to school. It'll be our back to school Revenge of the Nerds episode.
So, listeners, you got to stay with us,
Yes,
okay?
because
this
it's gonna be
this
so
is your
good.
carrot.
And
So
and Christmas is going to be coming to America.
Yes.
We're gonna be busy.
It's
Allie,
gonna be
go
so
on.
good. Okay, so I just have a couple more really quickly.
Yeah.
Robin Wright.
Hell to the fucking yes.
Like, come on. So she starred in Princess Bride in 1987.
Yes.
And then Forrest Gump in 1994.
Yes.
And she
then,
married that loser who we won't talk about.
Yeah, totally. And
Forrest
then
Gump?
Sean Penn.
Oh.
yes, because it was
Barf.
it used to be
Yeah.
Robin Wright Penn.
Yes.
Remember? That's
Right.
yes. And then House of Cards.
Hello?
Claire Underwood.
Oh.
Come on. Do you know that she's been nominated for an Emmy every year since 2013 for
I did
that
not
show?
know that.
Did
Yeah.
she win?
I actually don't think she's won.
I don't think she's won either.
Maybe
No, but
this
she's
year,
been- but
because, or next year.
Well, because now she's the press.
She's president. She's the
Absolutely.
leading lady.
Yes.
If
Yes.
anyone can wear a gray wool suit, it
Oh
is
my
her.
God.
Tailored to perfection.
And a turtleneck,
She's
honey.
gorgeous.
Yes.
She's so beautiful. I
Yeah.
just hate her.
Yeah.
I love her so much. I hate her.
She's gorgeous. Just one more, and this is just a nod to my cousins Alicia and Shafros, because Raven Simone.
Okay.
Raven Simone. So she started off at the Cosby Show.
Yes.
Right, playing
Yeah.
Olivia, the little
Yes.
cute,
Yeah.
the cutest patoot ever.
Yes.
And then she starred in That's So Raven, which was
Yeah.
on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And this is like my cousins Alicia and Shafros were obsessed with her. That's the only reason why I know that she had like a bit of a comeback. But then after that, she didn't do anything at all
Right.
until The View
Right.
in 2015.
Yeah, good for her.
So,
And
she's.
how does that happen?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, well, how does that
Yeah.
happen? Like, what
Yeah.
what are these stars doing in between? Because she didn't really have like a huge falling out or anything where she was like in depression, or she was like an alcoholic and had to go to Betty Ford or whatever. Like, it wasn't anything
Sure.
like that. Or she just kind of just stopped after
Sure.
That's So Raven, and then all of a sudden came back again, and now she has another show on Disney, and that's that.
Good for her. And she's also part of the LGBTQ
Yes,
community.
she is.
So
Amen,
She
sister.
is. She's
Amen.
loud and proud.
She
Absolutely.
is. And
We
Oprah
love
loves her.
her.
And Oprah loves her. God, she's on the Oprah channel like all the time, getting interviewed with Oprah and doing specials and all this stuff too. So
Well, that's so very Raven.
isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it? All right, Jason, producer Jason, what is yours?
Oh, I know. I went through the list, and there was one that just really stood out to me. I had to talk about her.
Yes.
Martha Stewart.
Yes.
Come on. Now, how could you go from being like, this is like the ultimate high and the ultimate low.
Completely.
Right? You own the empire. You are Martha Stewart.
You own everything.
You own everything.
You are opulent.
You are opulent. You are the rich bitch of the world, and everybody aspires to be you.
Yes.
Completely.
And then you know where you go? The Clink.
To jail.
You go to the Clink.
Yeah.
And like, she wasn't just in no like, tennis club. She was in like legit
She was in proper prison. Yeah.
Legit prison where she had to like do hard time.
Yeah.
Like, how long was she in there for? I couldn't find that.
It was a
Significant.
yeah, it wasn't like
Was
Lindsay
it?
Lohan overnight kind
No,
of a
no,
Paris
it was
Hilton
like-
thing.
I don't know, we're
it
gonna
was
have to look
proper.
this up.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll put it in the
But
show
I mean,
notes.
enough that she learned how to microwave cook like a motherfucker. So
And she made a cookbook.
exactly.
A microwave cook. See, this is what I love so much about Martha Stewart's story, because, okay, she goes to prison, she does her time, she, fraud, embezzlement, all the rest of it, tax evasion. And then she comes out and is probably cooler and more famous than ever, yet she still has her original fans.
Yeah,
They're still with her.
They're still buying her bedding.
Well, you know what? Martha Stewart can do really no wrong. Like, she is the queen of everything. She knows how to do everything so properly. Like, I remember watching her as a kid, again, Saturday afternoons. Martha Stewart would come on, and that show was shot so beautifully. It had a bit of a
Yes.
haze on it. Do you remember those?
Always.
Yeah, they had the Vaseline on
Yeah,
the lens.
totally.
It was-
And
yeah.
she just was cooking the most perfect meals. And then she would make cakes, and then
Yes.
cookies, and then craft, and then cocktails, and then entertain, and then have a beautiful house at the same
Yes,
time, and
yeah.
then do interviews with stars. It was just like,
And then
I
she
love
shows you
you.
how to make a shiv.
well, girls got to do what a girl's got to do.
And then the coolest thing is that like somebody like Conan O'Brien and Snoop Dogg
Oh my God.
are like her biggest fans.
Totally.
And she's fully going along with them.
Yeah.
And
And her show's Emmy nominated now.
yes, yeah.
This
The one with
so it's
Snoop Dogg?
Martha and Snoop Dogg's potluck dinner.
Yeah.
VH1. It is so wildly popular, and it's been Emmy nominated, which is crazy. And what an unlikely couple, right? Like
I know.
Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, and they have legit chemistry. Like,
Yeah.
I actually can see them like maybe hooking up.
Well, yeah, she was a model before.
Well,
like she has
well,
a wild
she
past.
was,
She's
yeah.
I
beautiful.
think she's super beautiful. She has a wild past. Maybe you know what?
Ooh, she wants to get a little
Exactly.
Snoop Dogg.
Maybe not. Why not?
Wow. Snoop Doggy
Doggy
Dog.
Oh, we're proud of
she
you,
wants the
Martha.
pounds.
We need to get her on this show.
Yay, Martha!
Oh my God, girl! I know.
Snaps.
Totes. Yes.
Martha, we're gonna find some. We're gonna go to Co-op Cannabis, and we're gonna get you a big old bag of stuff. We're gonna roll some up. We want to talk to you.
Yes.
So
So
Yeah.
call us.
cook.
Martha's people, please contact us. We're ready.
Anytime.
We're ready for a new interview.
Absolutely.
We've had Raja and we're over it. So let's do something else now.
All right. So is this where we get to talk about Drag Race now?
Yes.
I know
Oh my
you
God,
two
yes,
have been.
yes.
Oh my God, chomping at the bit.
I know you both have like piss cramps because you're so excited about this. So, okay, for our listeners who don't want to have a spoiler, they haven't watched, we're going to talk about this is episode 3,
Season 11.
season 11, RuPaul's Drag Race. It
Start
was
your engines.
Start Your Engines. No, this is good. We have a lot to talk about.
Definitely.
Okay, where do we start?
Okay, so last week, Kahana Montrese, who, you know,
Had to say
I have
bye.
a bit of a crush still, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about a guy with a missing tooth. I don't know.
That's
it's
kinda your
kinda
jam?
hot.
Oh well,
So-
let's not get it twisted. She was a cute boy,
Very cute boy. Hot
but,
trade, yeah.
But as a
Drag
but
queen,
as a drag queen,
no, it was
girl,
yeah.
it just wasn't working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know what? But you know what? We'll miss her.
Of course.
Absolutely. So then now we have the mini challenge. The mini challenge was to get into a 90s club to meet Michelle Visage.
Yes.
And
From her girl group.
seduction.
Seduction. We
So-
have to find some seduction music.
Yeah,
Oh my
we.
God. Yes.
Well, I think they only had the one song.
Okay. I thought they had it was just the single.
Oh, I'm sure they have more.
Oh, yeah,
But
okay,
that's,
yeah.
you know,
That was
playable.
popular. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
Popular.
Yeah, popular.
So we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do a seduction
Yeah.
choreography. So we'll have
Yes.
that ready for you soon. No problem.
Yeah, for
course,
next
yeah.
week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
We're going to perform it for you on the podcast. It's going to be great.
Just like how you did your little split number at the
Yeah,
end, you
exactly.
know, like episode 3 or whatever it
Radio's
was.
so easy. I
Yes.
love this. It's not even radio. It's the interlines.
It's the
So anyway, so our girl Brooklyn Heights brings Canadiana.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
she does.
yes.
It was a little, I don't know.
It's a little hoser.
It was
but-
pretty hoser. I guess it was funny. She has a shtick.
Well, you know what?
Totally.
I'm glad that she's bringing a little Canadiana into the
Definitely.
show. Like, I think that she is proud to be Canadian, and that's why she's bringing it. But I also think that she's smart about the whole thing.
She is
because
smart.
all of her Canadian fans are now going to be gagging and so happy. So she has all of Canada rooting for her. So there's that.
Go Kim Hortons.
Oh, so then, so Nina West wins the mini challenge.
Yes, she did. Finally,
Oh,
we
and-
saw some Nina.
Raja, boo, boring, snooze, next. So then they pick teams for the Maxi Challenge, and it's Diva Worship. So they want to they want to do like a televangelist, Tammy Faye Baker journey into Diva Worship.
Yes. So each of them had to pick their own diva to worship.
Yes.
And one of the one team picked Mariah Carey.
Yes.
Which was awful because they knew nothing
Nothing.
about Mariah Carey. What the hell is wrong with you that you don't know anything about Mariah Carey?
She's like Dolly Parton. She's in on her own jokes.
Seriously. And
Dolly
you know what?
Parton would have been a really good
Right?
one.
There,
Somebody should have picked Dolly Parton. That would have been hilarious.
that would have been
Exactly.
really great. That would have been actually
Or
really
they
good.
just
I
had
never thought of
Miley
that.
Cyrus on. Why wouldn't somebody pick her?
But I'm telling you,
Pick
I
whoever
don't-
you want.
You know, I don't know if like they were in their heads too much and they were just thinking about it too much, but there's so many things they could have done with Mariah.
Agree.
And anyway, they didn't. And then the other team chose
Brittany.
Brittany, which I mean,
Of
come on.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
they did a good job. I was really hoping that somebody was going to bring out a snake into the
Yeah.
equation. I
Oh.
felt like that was a missed opportunity. I mean,
Oh my God,
you're
that would've
talking
been
about
good.
like, you know, religious symbols and,
Oh,
you know, like...
totally.
Oh my
They could have
God,
had like
yes, they
an
could have really gone
exorcism
there.
and there could have been a snake and the whole thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, they didn't do it.
Oh my god.
But Vanjie brought all the laughs.
She brought all the funny.
She was so funny with all her hair flips. And like Vanjie is the queen of the one-liners.
Yeah.
And one of the one-liners that was so good was about like, you know, like when you struggle, like how she's talking about Mercedes and Mercedes is struggling so much. And she's saying, well, you know, her looks aren't that strong and she's struggling in the challenges. And like, pick a struggle. Just decide on one.
I'm going to use that.
It's a good line. And you know what? It's so funny because I feel like she is her authentic self. Like
Completely.
there's no show there. There's no nothing. Like that's just her. And that's what's so brilliant about the whole thing.
Yes.
Because she's not trying to bring it. That's just her.
Exactly. That's what made her the sensation
100%.
from season 10.
Yes.
And
But what
that's-
makes her so funny is her voice. Because she's got this, like, really rapid, you know? So, and she doesn't really try and cover it up when she's in
Not
drag,
at all.
right? So
She
she
doesn't
just
try to be
sounds
fishy at all.
like
No.
the craziest woman alive.
Little cookie monster
Yes.
with this beautiful face and this teeny tiny little body.
Oh my god.
And then
Yeah,
this
she's
cookie
gotten
monster.
pretty small.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then she can't really like it's again it's so cute like she doesn't really pronounce words that well.
She also
Like humiliating.
during her runway walk, like
She
she was
is.
stomping on that runway.
She's a little baby Clydesdale.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked like she was pulling a cart. She was hitting it hard.
She was hitting it hard.
But you know what? She is giving, like, everything.
Everything.
110%.
Yes.
Every
No.
show. So she's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's a great one to watch for
Nina
sure.
West also totally killed it.
Oh my god.
Yes,
She
finally.
was the host.
And she won.
And she
which was
won,
wonderful.
which
She-
was
She
great.
deserved it. She really did.
Do we think that
deserved
she
it.
can keep it going?
I don't think so.
I don't
Or
know.
is she a little too, like, up and down? Or is she going to be that character of the season who, you know, comes in and they're like, they haven't quite hit their stride, and then all of a sudden they find their confidence and they kick everyone's ass?
From what we've seen of her, I think like we expected her to be so funny.
Yeah.
And so she's definitely like bringing it now, but I don't think that it's
It's not all the way there.
No, it's not. I'm not feeling like that. Like I'm feeling that way about Vanjie for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Totally.
the challenges and even Silky, like we've come full circle.
Yes.
I know we
Back
have
to
like a
Silky.
love-hate
Yeah,
relationship.
Yes.
we're
with
back
Silky.
on the Silky love train. I
Yeah.
think,
So if
because
we're
she's pretty
petty
good.
and fickle,
well, totally.
so
Oh my God.
add that to the resume.
Oh my god.
So-
but it's very true. But I think that as much as I love Vanjie, I don't know if she has like the winning
If
ticket.
she can go all the way.
Yeah, like I think
Yeah.
she's gonna go far, top 3 for sure. But I don't know if she's gonna be a winner, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell. Like it's I mean season 10 was like that too. That it was like that top 4, it was so hard to pick out. Like I wanted Aquaria, you know, but I just thought she was too young. But it was this, like it just really feels like there's such an open field. Whereas
Absolutely.
like in other seasons, it was so clear like
Yes.
who the top was.
Yeah, who's
right?
going next?
Oh,
You
for
kinda
sure.
knew.
Yeah.
Exactly. But right now, like even with Aquaria, I feel like there's something there.
There's something there. I
And
totally agree with you.
with her Bob Mackie look tonight.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about the looks.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, the looks were good. So the category was fringe.
yes.
Yeah, and there were some good looks.
There were some good ones.
I liked Nina West. That's
I
one
loved it.
memorable one
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
You know, it looked like she was wearing a big old mop
Yes.
on her head, which it probably was.
Yeah.
I'm
And it worked.
And
It worked.
I'm just surprised at the color though, because it was mop colored.
Yes.
It was like a beige, cream color.
Yeah, this was no like
full on-
Violeta blue.
No,
this was like
no, it was
mop
not a
water
Violeta blue.
brown. Mop water brown.
Enter the promo code.
The promo code NOMOFOMO. Oops.
But you know what she looked like to me? You know that they have that kind of dog that actually has
my
like
God,
like
totally.
locks. Like it looks like it has like
my God.
beige locks.
What
With the
are-
bangs.
Yes, those
What
dogs.
are
And you
those
see when
dogs
they
called?
jump and it looks like
Yes.
they have robe on them and
Yeah,
they're big.
totally.
And the way she was moving, she looked like one of those dogs to
You're
me.
right. You're totally
so maybe it's like a mop dog. So
Mop
maybe
dog.
maybe she was going for like mop dog realness.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Category is
It worked. It worked on
woof
her.
woof. It was awesome. awesome.
One thing I want to talk about too is Silky Ganache.
Working at the car wash.
Oh, yeah. Her twirls.
Oh my God, but you know what? That girl can dance.
She
like,
can.
she's a big old queen, but
Yeah.
my God, she got on that freaking runway and she just gave it and was like from one end to the other end to the other end, spinning around, doing her thing, and she didn't miss a step.
Not at all. And it was blue and the
Yes.
whole thing was fringy and she literally looked like one of those spinning things in the car
In the car
wash.
wash. Totally.
And
Totally.
it was
So good.
so
It was.
good.
It was really
And so
good.
that's why we love her again.
Yes, 100%.
Well, and so Nina West, she was the winner,
Yes.
as we said. So
Well deserved.
So
Very
claps,
well deserved.
Claps
Claps,
for Nina.
yay.
That's great. I want to say one thing that I think we talked a little bit about this before, but how much do we love that we're seeing more Rue?
Yes.
Yes.
This season, and this must be
Absolutely.
a
Yes.
VH1. Like, you know, we did some
Research,
research.
or-
We
yeah.
talked to our demographics, the whole thing, and they are giving everybody what they want, which is
Yes.
more Rue.
Yes.
And we're seeing more personality too.
Yes.
She's not just a judge; she's also like giving them some shit.
She's sassy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She made all 6 of those girls lip sync for their life.
Mama was
know.
mad.
She
Because
was
she
mad.
used to be like that in the earlier seasons.
Yes, she was. She was.
And
Like,
she kind of got motherly.
yeah.
Completely. Absolutely. Maybe she just got busy, you know?
Well, totally. She was doing other things or
Yeah.
whatever, but now she's back on that train, probably getting that coin, so she's
Yeah.
going to do whatever VH1 says that she has to do.
Absolutely.
But making all of those girls dance and lip sync for their life.
Well, it was
Was-
clumsy.
it was a hot mess.
It was a hot mess. It was clumsy. It just didn't work. I wish she would have done 3 and 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that would have been way better. Because how are you going to lip sync with 6 other drag queens on that runway? Like, you just can't do
No,
it.
no.
You know? And, I mean, the girl that went home.
Honey.
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 She was a bit of a weirdie on that.
Yeah.
On that
Well,
lip sync.
she
her
had to
look-
go. She had to go.
Her look was so bad. It was garbage bag realness.
Yeah.
She just put a bunch of trash bags on.
And chains.
And in chains, and then like got like, you know when you did crafts, remember on your crafternoons
Of
when you
course.
like had your garbage bags and you just cut like
yeah.
you just cut a bunch of
I did that.
Yeah,
I made
sure.
dresses out of them.
Exactly,
I
absolutely.
did white garbage bags though, not black.
Oh,
because,
okay, why
you
does it
know.
gotta be white?
Why? Yeah.
So, and then she had this horrible funeral hat, and it was
Oh my
so
God,
bad.
it was really
and then her
bad. Mm-hmm.
makeup was so bad, and there was nothing fishy or extravagant about it. It was not opulent.
It wasn't.
It was
opulence.
not. It was not.
No.
and she deserved to go.
Yeah.
She deserved to go.
Yes.
And, you know, Allie and I were laughing the other night, Carla, we were talking about how, you know, Rue is getting a little bit sassy in these shows.
Yes,
And we're
yes.
wondering if the day is going to come where she says, you know, Shantae, you stay. And they're like, Honey Davenport, fuck off.
Wouldn't that be so epic?
And that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be so good. Rue needs to do
Yeah.
that.
That would be
Well, she was getting pretty
something.
close tonight.
She was mad.
What
she
was
was
that?
mad.
What was that 3 thing that she said?
Oh God. Oh jeez. I
Snoot,
can't-
snot, snort, something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Oh, I can't. Even
we need to
remember
go
now.
back.
Oh, we need
Yeah.
to go back on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
so,
we do. Okay.
Sorry,
We'll
we
get
need to do
back
our
to it.
research.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she was not impressed
No.
at all. Mama was mad.
She was.
We like to see her mad, but she was fiery
Mm-hmm.
in the workroom as well.
Yeah.
And God, she was getting so animated and so fired up.
And you know what? Michelle Visage is not getting as much airtime.
True.
Did you notice that?
not.
Did you notice that?
True.
Because usually she was the one that was being a
yes.
bitch.
Yes.
And she.
Oh, good call.
Yeah. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank-
And
yeah.
they had Rue in green, which is Michelle's like, you know,
Yeah.
sworn enemy, the color green.
I did
just
not
so
like her
dumb.
outfit today. Well, yes,
Well-
I know, but I didn't like Rue's outfit today. I just kind of was like,
No, I liked it, but like, you know, I mean, the fact that like you're like, I hate green. It's just like this is so dumb.
yeah, like, who cares?
exactly.
Yeah.
it's just
So
a color.
let's talk about this trailer for next week
Okay.
because I don't know how I feel about this. Like they're doing like a Donald Trump musical, which I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like, you know, we're watching Rue to get away from all of that.
Totally.
You know,
Totally.
I don't want my politics on there. You know, let's just leave
Yeah.
that one alone. Maybe he's easy to take down because, you know, for so many reasons, but why couldn't they choose somebody else?
I know because they've done Kardashians, the
Yeah.
musical, which was
Hilarious.
hilarious.
They took
Yes.
down Lady Bunny.
Yes,
Which
yes,
was
yes,
amazing.
Yes. Absolutely. And then of course Aquaria did her Melania.
Yes.
And that
in
was
Snatch
funny.
That was
funny.
so funny.
Yes.
I feel like the Trump thing is maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Ill-timed.
we'll
maybe
see.
in another season. I don't know.
Totally. And maybe there might be good jokes, but we'll see. But I agree with you. Like this is why I do tune in to RuPaul's Drag Race and all the other, Drag Me Down the Aisle, all the other fun shows, because I don't care about SNC Lavalin and I don't care about Trump and I don't want to hear any of that. No. I want to be entertained.
Absolutely.
Entertained.
And laugh.
Yes.
Take us away.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Calgon.
I need a
Are you?
Calgon moment. Okay, so are you still with your top 3 picks? Like, are you still confident in those?
Oh, who were our picks?
top 4?
I need a reminder.
Mine. I think we just did one, didn't we? I thought Brooklyn Heights.
Evie Oddly.
Yes.
Evie Oddly.
Sugarcane. Are we doing Plastique or are we doing Vanjie? Who do we think?
I think Vanjie. I would
be...
maybe take out Sugar. I don't think she's performing.
She didn't do so well tonight.
She didn't do well today, but you know what? It was because of her team.
True. Maybe if she was on the other team,
totally, she would have killed
it.
I feel like it was her team because she's the best one on that team.
Yes, yeah.
I think she does have the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
I really do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still okay. So we're Evie.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are
Brooklyn Heights,
and we're Vanjie.
Yes.
Is that our 3?
And Sugar.
And Sugar's
Plastique.
Plastique or
I think
4 and 5 maybe.
You know what? I don't think Plastique is going to make it either, especially after this episode.
Yeah, it was a bit shaky, and her look was just like a Dancing with the Stars samba dress. Like it
maybe
was so
top 5.
basic.
She's gonna stay for a little while. I think she's getting at least halfway.
Okay, I agree with you. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
so let's just do a top 3. So we got
Vanjie,
Vanjie, Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I think so. All right.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here.
Here we go.
Mid-March, episode 3.
Yeah.
Next week we're probably gonna throw them all out.
Yeah, totally. We'll change it. We'll change it all up again. Yeah.
We told you we are fickle.
I want to know what you listeners think. So let us know what you think. Tell us your top 3.
Yeah, phone in.
Yeah. I'll give you Carla's cell phone.
Yeah, totally. You can just text or call Carla. How about that?
Kiki Carla.
Operators are standing by.
But no, we love getting all of your feedback, and we've had some more really good feedback. So thank you so much.
We
always want to get better and better. So we appreciate you for listening, especially all the way to the end. And we're over an hour already, you guys.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're
we better get to bed because it's like midnight.
Just remember that we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. So please follow us. NOMOFOMO podcast.
Yeah, and make sure you subscribe to us if you're
Absolutely.
using iTunes or Google Play, and tell some of your friends.
Absolutely. Spread the word, people. Spread the word of the NOMOFOMO.
And everybody say love.
Love.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.